Thank you. Hey, good morning, everybody. Maybe we can grab a seat if it's okay, and we'll jump into our inaugural Mobility Connect event here in Barcelona. And I would like to make a couple acknowledgements. So, number one, I want to thank Jaime and Pilar on our marketing team in Madrid for working with our Canadian team and really putting this together. It's a big effort to put something like this on. So I really want to thank them. Thank you. As well as the Fleet Europe folks, and I know a number of people are sticking around for that event tomorrow. But first at hand, I really want to thank everybody for coming here today. I'm going to introduce a number of the topics. So number one, we're going to get into data. We're going to get into the electric vehicle and electrification of our fleets across the globe. And we're going to talk about data as it relates to the access to data and a number of other topics. My name's Edward Kulperger. I'm officially our Vice President of Europe. And again, really appreciate everybody for coming here to beautiful Barcelona. So before I jump into introducing a few of the topics, just a quick update on Geotab. So Geotab today, we have approximately 1.33 million connected vehicles. We are adding a little over 10,000 vehicles to our subscriber base per week. And we believe by the end of 2019, we'll be closing in on our 2 millionth vehicle that is connected. So it took 17 years to get our first million, and it'll take approximately 2 years to get our second million. So with that, we receive approximately 3 billion data points per day. And to put this a little bit in context, we are right now the 11th largest Google BigQuery client on the planet. So you have companies like Spotify, Snapchat, 8 others, and then Geotab. So a little bit of testament in terms of the amount of data that we receive into our store and forward servers, then we transceive that to our various customers or through our own application, My Geotab. And we are very much investing in the future, and you will see some testimonials of that today around machine learning, artificial intelligence, neural networking, as well as the electrification of vehicles, which is a hot topic. So speaking of hot topics, so has anybody heard of the Keeling Curve? So maybe not a lot of environmental scientists out there. So Charles David Keeling, back in 1958, after studying carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, started measuring it and did this in Hawaii and in San Diego. So now it's a measure of carbon dioxide in the air, and it's done every day. It used to be done once a month, and it's one of the most important discoveries in our history. So understanding what carbon dioxide does to the climate is an important thing that we need to all, in this ecosystem here of fleets, vehicle manufacturers, et cetera, be cognizant of, because the biggest contributor globally to CO2 in the air is the removal of fossil fuels from the earth, and then burning those fossil fuels, creating pollution, which creates the Earth's atmosphere and the CO2 in the air to increase. And it's accelerated over about the last 7 years, and the last 2 years in particular. So it's one of the things that I would ask everybody to have a look at. I mean, as you are buying vehicles, look at the electrification of it, and the socioeconomic benefit of electric and other types of vehicles into the atmosphere and into our environment, our kids' environment, and our grandkids' environment is incredibly important, and that's a socio message that I would like to propagate on behalf of Geotab. So transitioning from the climate and climate change, we look at the geopolitical climate. So it's another area where we can't really impact. We can impact the Earth's climate by making better choices. The geopolitical climate we can also impact by voting in a better way. But there are forces on the Earth right now, geopolitically, that make it very difficult for a software company, for example, in US or Canada, to do business in Russia or China or North Korea. So there's geopolitical forces that are in play today that we have to be cognizant of. And you're going to hear a little bit around some of these topics around data, because data doesn't really know any boundaries. It doesn't know borders, but yet we have to protect our data. So you're going to hear from our Chief Privacy Officer, Chief Privacy Officer Dirk Schlim later on, talking about the data side. Gridlock, another kind of political term that you're hearing a lot, especially in North America today. So gridlock is a huge contributor to the environment, to congestion, to pollution. How do we move things faster through our cities, whether it's people or whether it's goods? It's all built on data. A great story is anticipatory shipping. So anticipatory shipping is an actual patent that Amazon has today. So they patented the ability to start understanding when a good is going to be shipped to a destination before someone has ordered that good. So if you think about that, you could be sitting at home ready to order a pair of skates as a Canadian, or whatever good from wherever you are, and before you order that good, that shipping process will have started. That is the whole premise of anticipatory shipping. So how do we route things faster? How do we get people and goods through our cities in a better way? So this is an important topic, and it's all based on data once again. So the data economy, we're literally at the infancy or the tipping of the iceberg on this. So literally right now, you're starting to see goods being ordered fast. You're starting to see catastrophic events where municipal vehicles, emergency health vehicles are getting to their destination faster. We have an interesting story with a company called Waycare out of Israel that takes our data, takes Waze's data, overlays it, and then the city of Las Vegas, where they had a catastrophic event, they're able to route vehicles to that scene now faster, and they're able to shut down lights and get those emergency vehicles faster. All, once again, built on data. The next biggest point that we're going to talk about today, and Matt Stevens is here, is, and pardon me, on the data side, Mike Branch is going to come up, who's our data guru, who works with the largest data companies in the world, and is going to speak to you about how we leverage the data. And then next biggest point is around electrification. So we just published a study today, so I'd encourage everybody to have a quick look. We did a research document in UK where we talked to a number of the largest fleets in England, and they're all moving to electrification right now. I heard a story last night where there is a person that works with a fleet company out of Netherlands who had a Volvo XC90 and spends around $6,500 a year on fuel. His company now has provided him with an I-Pace Jaguar, so similar cost, a little bit less on the lease side, and he's spending approximately, with the same travel pattern, $1,500 per year. So that $5,000 savings aggregated over a fleet of X is just massive. So there's huge, not just environmental incentive, but huge monetary incentive to start moving into electric. And some of our study points in this paper that is published today, you guys can view. Pardon me. So you're starting to see that EV trend really pick up. specifically in the last 2 years, and we don't think this will slow down anytime soon. So last point is GEOTAB's growth. So we're right now 557, maybe 58 people. We're growing incredibly fast. We have offices headquartered in Canada, so Canadian organization. We have about 150 people in Las Vegas. And then we have offices now in London, Munich, Aachen, Madrid, and Rome. And we're growing further across Europe. So we're going to talk about how to help you guys with the globalization aspect of fleets. So how do multinational organizations adopt telematics across their fleet? And Colin Sutherland will come up and talk to that subject. So without further ado, once again, thank you everybody for being here. Really, really appreciate it. And I'm going to bring up Mike Branch, who's going to talk to you on the big data side.